Grand Final, ESL Open Cup Europe number 54. The first to not give out ESL points. The prize money remains the same, but no ESL points on the line as we are in the official off-season for ESL points until April or so. In the bottom right side, our red Protoss player, and he just Void Raid his way into this Grand Final from 0-2 down. 3 Void Raid rushes in a row against Seoul in the semis. MaxPax is causing chaos in the chat. People are mad, people are upset. People think Protoss is broken and disgusting, and he's only going to make it worse as he sets up, maybe even for the MaxPax here. Top left, our blue Terran player from Team Liquid is Clem. Obviously, he's had a really good run today, by the way. Clem's run today, I believe, not dropping a map. No, he dropped a map to Solia, right? That was actually a really cool game. That was a really fun game. Not someone you'd expect him to drop a map to. Then went 2-0 Geralt, 3-0 Hero Marine. Revenge for the finals he lost recently. And makes it to the finals over in this matchup. So let's see what we get. We'll see when Clem wants to SCV scout to try and figure out what's going on against this proxied gateway. And of course, thank you everybody for tuning in today. I just wanted to say a quick hello if this one goes up, which it probably will, to the YouTube channel. Hello on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you end up enjoying the video. And thanks so much for watching the content today. That's all I want to say, though. Let's dive into this. There's Reaper already coming up. And getting this ready to begin. So, Reaper coming through. He is actually kind of rallied to the low ground. He's just got no information. But you know what? It's a blind factory first. I didn't realize it's double gas already. So that does mean you're going to go factory before any kind of expansion here as Clem. Like, hello? That's amazing. That's fan-freaking-tastic. As you see this probe coming through in the SCV, he's going to get chased. I mean, the probe comes, he's like, oh, there's a factory. All right, well, probe's going to go down, and this proxy gateway it's a little bit funky, right? This is the MaxPax build, right? When you hear MaxPax, this is what the MaxPax means, where you go proxy gate into the Nexus at home. So if you just initially, what people would do is just lazy scout the natural, oh, you've got a Nexus, and fine. And then there's actually a proxy gate pumping away. It's a very macro-oriented build. Like, yeah, it's kind of pressure focused. You got to make a bit of a commitment, shield battery in the main to save yourself from the Reaper. But you can put some pressure out. You can put some damage on the map. And as Clem shows up, he's going to see the Nexus. But he still doesn't know the gateway is proxied, right? So right now, like I said, kind of about the lazy scout. What's weird is Clem is not seeing a unit. And that's what he's got to figure out ASAP right now. He has a single unit on the map, right? It's this Reaper and then a second Reaper up here. And now one Hellion. None of these are particularly good at, you know, this kind of group of units from MaxPax. So that's the command center, not just delayed, but now cancelled. Clem says, no way. It's going to be a while till I take control of my natural, so I'm just going to rebuild in the back of my main base. And let's say this is already a success story for Clem, for MaxPax here, slowing Clem down heavily on that command center to begin with. And Clem will probably be looking for some harassment to bring this back into the game at some point. Wouldn't mind. Unburrows, reburrows, I actually don't think you need to use it on the Zealots. It's just, against the Zealots, it feels like a little bit of wasted damage in a way, right? Where it's like, if it goes off, it's like, well, you're going to kill the Zealots in the end, right? I'd much rather have that Widowmite to help zone out Stalkers, push Stalkers back, and to keep those from attacking in too easily and that sort of thing. So, we're just going to be seeing our Warp Gate about to finish up on the cyber core in a few moments. Robotics facility is building up in the main, and the Stalker's going to move with this ram. A couple of units just jump up into the bunker. The Widowmine went off. What did it kill? Did it actually end up just killing a Zealot? That's slightly unfortunate, perhaps. But yeah, nice effort from MaxPax to finally get what he wanted out of that in the end. And this depot's going to go down, so Clem's going to be supply blocked, and his entrance is going to be open. There is a Banshee on the way up. There is, remember, a shield battery already in this main mineral line, so if you look at this Banshee offensively, its only real hope is the natural, or you join up two together. Then you don't really care so much about the battery, but that will take a little bit longer to get set up into, so something to watch out for. Stalker's going to get blasted around, adept shading up into the main. You just have the Banshee about to finish. The Cyclone is going to be done in just a few moments' time. And the shield battery is on the way down from MaxPax and the natural as well. So absolutely needs the double Banshee to really be effective here at all. Bit of back and forth, and Stalker cam pretty good. Gonna grab a Cyclone. That's kind of big. Cyclone's one of the major units you're meant to be using to push this back. I mean, the Banshee can be good defensively as well, but it's across the map. So now the other Banshee, I guess, has to come in. He's going to see the battery on the natural, just flies to the main. There's honestly still just a lot of Stalkers here, and Clem up against these 3 gates, having some trouble. It's only going to get worse as the Prism pops out. That's going to provide you some coverage across the map. There is an Observer across the map too, so you have vision. So actually the Banshee cloaking up is not going to be the be-all end-all here. Dives in. You can still see the damage the Banshee gets done alongside those Marines as the commitment to get rid of the tank is made. It's not a bad commitment, though. I think it's the right decision. You don't get rid of the tank. You take so many shots every single time you try and move into it. But there goes the second Banshee, and that really nullifies the usefulness of the first Banshee. And Clem is just still losing units, and MaxPax turns this opening into a Game 1 victory. Gets things out of control. Clem never figured out it was a proxied gateway, and that really just set MaxPax off in the right direction. In the top left-hand side with the red Protoss player. Let's hear it if you're cheering on MaxPax from Team Exxon. Up against the blue Terran down bottom right from Team Liquid, it's Clem. Alrighty, game number 2 of this best of 5 as we kick things off. I mean, gateway and the main base is already just interesting because it's a 12 gateway, right? Oh, it's a 12 pylon, 13 gateway. So you actually don't build a probe initially. This typically leads into, I think, a proxy Stargate build, actually. I think this might be the attempt to play some voids. Man, MaxPax, he played 2 very honest games to start off the series against Seoul. And now he's looking at this, he's like, nah, I can't keep doing that. Like, I've unleashed the inner kind of cheeser in me. I've unleashed the inner cheeser. I am done. I am away. Yeah, 12 pylon, 13 gate. Obviously, it just spells out aggression. You get gases, double gas. It's going to be a proxy Stargate Void Ray, I think, is the way you kind of go around it. So, we're all going to be seeing our probe is making its way out and across down the bottom right-hand side of the map. So, down to the bottom right, we go, as we have got the SCV of Clem. Moving up through the center. He's obviously going to be seen for the first time what's up very soon. He opens Marine first, no Reaper. That's good. Obviously, a little bit less scouting info, but oftentimes when this SCV scouts anyway, when you see no Nexus, when you go up here, you're going to be like, oh, right, I kind of see what's happening, you know? Alright, guys, I mean, this is the moment of truth. This is where we really get to see what exactly is going to happen between Clem and MaxPax. So I know there's a lot of discussion about how Clem is going to hold off this same attack if it does turn out to happen, and it's going to happen right now. There's Stargate going down. Clem builds a bunker at the front of the natural immediately. I don't know if holding the natural is necessarily the route to go down. We will see. I feel like that makes life a little bit more difficult, although if you hold a bunker here, the thing is the Voids are going to get their batteries and stuff here, right? So this is the real position Void Rays are super powerful in, so it's difficult for them to push the Nat. So that is a positive, perhaps. Let's see what Clem does. Second factory, second gas. Was going to start, now decides not to. And we'll just go for the factory, continuing through a bunker on the front, and the Zealot's going to start running by. 2 Marines on the way out. He did get that reactor early as well, but that's something he's going to have to try and defend here, I imagine. It's a bunker off to this side too, so kind of knows what he wants to get set up. 2 more Marines in this bunker, I feel like, really help. He's going to get rid of the Zealot very early too, so Zealot already going down. Now the Adept in some trouble. Factory goes straight to a tech lab as well. And MaxPax actually going to cancel those batteries because he realizes he can't protect the high ground just yet. He's going to have to build a little bit further back to begin with and then go from there. Okay, so Clem is honestly just going for a very similar setup to what Soul had against this. Here becomes the first issue, right? When this Void Ray just moves into the mineral line. You don't have anything to really stop this Void Ray in the mineral line to begin with now. And it's just these Marines, which I think the big thing here for Clem was that he cleaned up the Zealot and the Adept very easily. So by cleaning up the Zealot and the Adept super easily, the Marines become, you know, in a little bit better numbers. They don't have to split up to keep on fighting that, so you can really fully focus on pushing the Void Ray, you know, back right from the start. Void's just going to activate Prismatic. That bunker might just be dead. SCVs get there, but not in time, and now he's thinking about just going for the Cyclone as well. So the bunker just straight up dies. And, oh no, the Cyclone got caught in the corner. And the SCV is going to go down too, guys. Well, I think that's probably just going to be it. For Clem in game number 2, MaxPax is going to take a 2-0 lead. Being a cheese is just getting the better of him, but it's also getting the better of Clem. Cheesy boy MaxPax in the top left-hand side is our Red Protoss player, leading 2-0, but hoping that we get a bit of a fight back in the bottom right. Our blue Terran from Team Liquid is Clem. You know what, guys? Maybe this is where it finally happens. The Tingle Tangle Curse. The Tingle Tangle Curse. Nobody who beats Tingle Tangle in an Open Cup goes on to win the entire thing. Clem laughed at it. Tingle Tangle apologized for it. And now he's down 0-2 in the finals. Maybe this is where Clem falls. Maybe this is also where Clem turns it around in cool fashion. All right, well, we're just going to be setting up right now as a couple of gases come in. So he's going to go for the double gas opener again. MaxPax back at home. He's going to go double gas himself. Is he just going to do it again? Honestly, do it until someone shows you how to hold it, right? Like, I know it's becoming a bit predictable, but I'm not really against it for the moment. And I proxy over on this side to begin with, so it's one of those scenarios where it's further out to come and deny, but it's obviously still pretty close by air because you just fly over these minerals. He's actually only 10 minerals as well, so if you send a second probe, you could actually just mine through here to let the, I don't know why you would do that. I guess if there was like a zealot here or something. I was thinking about getting the probe through more quickly, but then, well, why send a second probe? You can just run the probe down the bottom side instead. Well, Reaper's going to catch the probe though, so that's an amazing start. By catching the probe like that, you're going to deny the possibility of building up the initial batteries and so on. Clem does now see no natural expansion. I think he has a good idea of where this is. Let's see if he wants to bunker up against this position to try and deny the Stargate or what the plan may be. Typically, second probe will want to come down and build a second pylon, but Clem just says, no worries, I'm just going to run past it. He actually wants to come and focus on this Zealot, which is actually going to get trapped in the main base. Clem going straight to the starport here. The Zealot is going to take some hefty hits, and it's going to be taken down pretty quickly, actually. So the Zealot gets one SCV, and that's about it for the moment. Cooper and a few Marines continue to chase the Adept away out of the side. Void Ray about to finish up. Second Void building. And now MaxPax can start to establish that battery line on the low ground here. But that was slowed down by the initial kind of Zealot not doing so hot, I think. Adepts, Void Ray sitting here doing okay. Oh, and that's a nice Cyclone lock-on though. The Void Ray does not have the range to fight this. Turns around, just gets out of the lock-on range. But this is scary because now you've got the units low ground. Obviously, Clem kind of opened one base 1-1-1, so he gets a lot of establishment very early on. But now double Void. Is there enough? Cyclone locks onto the higher HP Void Ray, but Void Ray takes a lot of damage. The other Void Ray nearly dies. And that's going to be a shutdown on the structures. And that is problematic here, as now this Stargate can be shot from this side of the mineral line, and the Voids need to regenerate some shields before they can really go into fight this at all. I don't even know what direction you want to come in for from the best. He's going to build a second pylon. I'm not sure that is actually the answer you need. It's not the pylon that's going to go down. It's the actual Stargate. Get some Marines. First Void Ray goes down. Activates the Prismatic on one of the Void Rays as it pops out. The other Void Ray too, but Clem does just have the defense against this. Double gas 1-1-1 is pretty okay against it. I mean, just comes out and fights it aggressively, right? Cyclone Viking from the start, and again, that's the issue of doing this multiple times in a row. Now the Reaper and the Marines going to go through this pylon in a lot of trouble, and Clem's going to bring a Cyclone over to shut the Stargate down in its entirety. Extra gates coming up, so we're going to go to 4 gates and a Twilight Council to follow this up, but MaxPax currently has 0 army supply, and I'm not sure he can build anything useful enough to really matter if Clem just comes marching across the map, which I don't see why he wouldn't do, because he knows what he's just been able to deny. He knows that that's good for him. Maybe just doesn't want to play it too riskily. He does have the engineering bay blocking over here. I noticed that he finishes the engineering bay, and I think the reason for the finishing of the engineering bay instead of just leaving it close, it's possible he just forgot about it. It may also be the case that by finishing it, he gives himself the option. You're gonna hate me, I'm gonna say that word again, the T word, the turrets word. It's possible you can then build turrets if you feel like you need them against the, for the defense at some point. If the Void Rays get up and you don't deny it like he just did, by having the engineering bay finished, you have the option to build turrets, right? It's that, or he just forgot about it and he was busy doing other things, and so it finished up instead of, leaving it at 90% or whatever. Well, Stalkers to the right side. Reaper of Clem goes up, and just going to be seeing the Stalkers continuing down the bottom. Obviously, warping in still, waiting for Blink to be done, it seems, before he's going to commit to anything. It's one base Blink. That's the play to try and win this game out, but Clem has been very safe. Marauder Productions, first siege tank already out. Obviously, there's a bunker on the natural expansion. There's potential to put a bunker up into the main. I mean, looking pretty great, honestly, as this Reaper pulls back around up the top side. Now that Blink's just past the halfway mark. Adept is going to shade on through for MaxPax, and a couple of Vikings up here are going to hang around with the rest of the bio as well. Well, the turret is able to help make a pick off, and MaxPax is going to type out GG. There's no opening there for him to break on into. So Clem is going to take a map back. As in the top right-hand side, our red Protoss player, who is still unmatched in tournament points, is MaxPax. That's a 12 pylon, guys. Is this the roll of the dice logic of, if I've done it twice and now he's hard countering it, surely he doesn't do it again? Bottom left, our blue Terran player Clem is already across the map with an SCV. Wow, that's a pre-depot finishing scout. Oh my god. This is what this finals has devolved into. MaxPax has brought us into the deep, dark territories of scout. Okay, it is going to be a proxy. Proxy sec. No, it's just going to wait. Oh my god, no. I don't know. I think MaxPax has brought us into the deep, dark hells of where we scout before our depot is finished. Oh my god. He's just going to engineering bay block, which is obviously not too wild. Against a regular kind of build, this would be pretty nice. Against MaxPax, it's kind of like, well, whatever. Now, the engineering bay block generally means you're then going to go factory before you expand. So that's something to watch out for here. Where did our SCV go? Just scouting in the main? Where's that SCV? Oh, there it is. It's going to come back down. Well, obviously, the engineering bay block is going to be seen. The Zealot can chase this SCV down. So it looks like the SCV is going to die. The Zealot is going to go onto the engineering bay from the start. MaxPax? I was going to say, has not got a proxied pylon up. So what is the plan? Something back at home. Maybe like a fast Stargate at home. Oh, that's different, huh? That's very interesting. Here's the cancel on the engineering bay. Clem is obviously checking around and kind of figuring out what he's up against. Reactor barracks, tech lab factory. He's only one base. He still hasn't expanded yet. He's really prioritizing units and everything else, right? And that's the thing. Like, MaxPax now is just gonna expand, so he is changing it up. This mind game is having an effect on Clem. He does go Oracle instead of into the Phoenix. I actually wouldn't have minded just going straight Phoenix, because I feel like in this scenario, an Oracle is limited in use just for the fact that it's, Clem's kind of blind countering what he expects to be, if something, proxy Stargate Void Rays, right? So it just means that units up against the, they're going to be units generally to deal with the Oracle in that sort of scenario, I would imagine. Well, CC's on the way, so Clem's not overly committed. It's going to be... Why? Why are we building a Void Ray on your own side of the map, MaxPax? Okay, now I have no idea what's going on. Alright, we're going to get rid of a couple of SCVs here already, so... The Oracle shows that it's the Void Ray behind this that's really like, what the hell's going on? Into a Phoenix. This is just such a no, into a second Void Ray. I've got nothing, guys. I've got no idea. Like, did today's cup go so late that we accidentally slipped into the North America Cup? Like, you know, it kind of feels like it. It kind of feels like it's just gone on a while and we're in the North American Cup at this point or something. Like, holy crap. An Oracle around this bottom side. A few Marines are there to turn the Oracle around. It gets pushed back rather quickly. Try to cancel building and follow up from this. And now we are going to build a Phoenix. Oh, he went into a Phoenix in the end anyway. He did cancel the second Void Ray. He was really indecisive about what he wanted to do. MaxPax not quite sure what he wants to go for. Well, Oracle gets turned around. Remember, Clem is just now getting his orbital online at 4:45 in the game, so he's got quite a scary army. When you look at this army, Marine Cyclone, and you consider what's on the map for MaxPax. A bit of anything that flies from the Protoss Armada. That isn't tier 3 tech. And the probe ready to build a Nexus. I'm not sure that's going to help right now. These Phoenix are in the wrong position to help defend as well. MaxPax just has no idea that Clem is coming up to this top side of the map. So, I mean, that's a dead Void Ray immediately. Doesn't get a chance to escape. A couple of Zealots here are not even close to having charge. And that actually might just be game. The Phoenix is going to get a tank kill, sure. But who needs a siege tank? Like, hello? Yeah, Clem realizes the kill potential, so he's not going to waste time on the third base. Why kill a third base when you can just kill the Protoss player in the natural? Battery going to go down. Phoenix can lift up whatever they want. I just don't think it makes enough of a difference. Multiple Cyclones brought in the sky. The thing is, if you lift multiple Cyclones at once, you don't have the damage output to actually kill any of the Cyclones that are in the sky. That's a problem as well, as MaxPax will lose his new battery just as it finishes. Doesn't get to heal anything. And that's going to be game. And good game call. And Clem is going to go 2-2. So maybe MaxPax now about to experience the 2-0 lead into a 3-2 defeat. Clem breaking the Tingle Tangle curse. And the bottom left-hand side. All the silliness has ensued because of this man. There we go. My scoreboard wasn't working. The red Protoss player is MaxPax from Team Exxon. And the top right from Team Liquid, the blue Terran player. Give it up if you're cheering on Clem. Cannon rush for game number 5, huh? Is that the plan? Forge low ground? No, gate low ground. Okay, I've just got no idea why there's a probe across the map then. Why is the probe here at 53 seconds? Hello? Oh, this is... Oh, of course. This is the Pylon Scout. Not the Pylon Scout because there's nothing to scout. It's the Pylon Harass. You send the probe after Pylon to make sure you can nibble your opponent's SCV from early in the game and make them wonder why the hell is there a probe here? It would work against me. I'd be done. I'd be out of this. I'd be like, what the hell is going on? I'm sick of I hate dealing with probes. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, he's just playing this against the wrong guy. If he was playing against Wardy, he'd have a W under his belt right now. He'd be the ESL Cup champ. Well, probably wouldn't have needed 5 games, but... Okay, well, Reaper is on the way up from Clem. There's a couple of SCVs going in after that probe, which is trying to figure out which way to go. Out over here. Nice shutdown from the SCVs. Good positioning. Good movement. So it's just going to be a low ground gate core expansion. A SCV sees it and he's like, well, I mean, it's half normal at least. Like, at least there's a Nexus. Don't know why your other buildings are down here, but He can, of course, kind of wall off early against the Terran if you're afraid of Hellions, but I think the moment Clem sees this, the Hellion builds just go out the window, right? It's just not something you really commit into. I don't think it's something that you really just... I just don't think it's something you really go for here at all. SCV and a Marine on the natural. The Adept is shading over. The second Marine popping in. Gonna see a bit of a fight right now. SCV taking the brunt of the damage to begin with. Actually helps the Marines get the Adept shields gone. And the Reaper comes back home. The Adept gonna cancel the shade to stay off to the side. He's gonna go for another hot hit on the Reaper. The SCV gets back to bunker building. But there's gonna be a second Adept now, and this might still be a problem. As MaxPax wasted the first shot of this onto the bunker, rather than onto an SCV or a Marine. It's keeping the Adept alive. Good micro so far out of MaxPax. Keeping that Adept in the back, and he's really reaped the reward so far. 2 Marines and SCV. Now he'll lose an Adept and the other as well, probably. Chances of shading this out alive? Probably. Well, now absolutely 0. It's going to go down. Low HP Hellion, but not much else. Oh, the Adept shades in. Makes the play. Third Adept showing up is actually something that Clem was not really ready for here. You can just tell by the way he was setting up his units, right? He was not really ready. Cancels the bunker, and I don't think the bunker is really necessary anymore, but yeah, the Reaper and the Hellion were not ready for the shade, but good quick response from Clem once he realized what was happening. As now the Adept goes down and the Hellion survives. 2 HP on that Hellion. Getting out of there. SCV gonna repair up the Hellion on the top, as we do see the probe setting up on the pylon. It's gonna be Glaives. I mean, it's definitely a different way to open. Glaives? Nah, just gonna be, I guess it has to be a proxy gateway, right? Just to speed this up. Are we really gonna slow warp in on the top for reinforcements? Liberator on the way, by the way. I mean, there's actually just nothing that defends a Liberator. It's like, hey guys, Lo can actually kill a Liberator on the Proto side of the map in this game. Well, maybe at some point he'll build a Stalker, and that will be his best bet, but it's not looking pretty. It is not looking pretty. Glaive's about to be done. A couple of Adepts are on the way out. The Adepts actually come in, and they're going to actually go through, and they're going to shade for the Cyclone kill. Oh, but there's Marines that you go for it. Oh, you do, but I'm not sure that was actually so great. MaxPax is losing a lot of army supply. Clem's just going to go across the map and fight. The problem for MaxPax is that he's kind of fighting into a build that's just designed to come and fight anyway, right? And I'm not sure at 3 gates you're ever going to get up to like a meaningful amount of Adepts that are really going to be overwhelming. Especially when your first 3 shaded in for a Cyclone, which I think a Cyclone itself is fine, but I don't think you can lose those Adepts, otherwise you get in a bit too much trouble. They're right down the bottom. Gonna see a few probes being picked away at here. So 3, 4, 5 workers being picked off as damage continues to go out. The Stalker's just gonna push that Liberator away. So there's your defense. Dark Shrine from MaxPax. I mean, definitely think he's behind, so I don't blame the decision. There's going to be triple CC from Clem, though, so scans are plenty as long as he saves a couple of them. Web Sieges in the back of the main, just going to get rid of a couple extra probes. I mean, This is just a, this is horrible for MaxPax. Here come the DTs. Scan available on 2 command centers. So there's scan 1. SCVs just got friendly fire though. The tank blew up more SCVs than the DTs have killed. Very nearly a similar story over here, but that's the DTs down. I mean, 7 SCVs would be nice if you weren't 10 probes in the gutter down to the, or due to the Liberator. And that's obviously the problem. DT's going to be warping through, plus 1 attack halfway along, stims on the way. A couple of extra racks on the way in as well on the top side of this base, so really just bumping up the bio, and as well the bio upgrades come into play. MaxPax is going to just attack before then apparently and just try and put an end to this. Third base, he is probing, so maybe he doesn't need to put an end to it, but yeah. I actually feel as though MaxPax, I feel like the last few times I've cast MaxPax, I've been very impressed by his progress of like playing like longer games and stuff. I know this is Clem and a tough opponent and stuff, but I do kind of also feel like this game, like even right now, it just doesn't really quite make sense what he's trying to get done. Like he's pushing out, maybe put a bit of pressure on, I guess, and then he's shading into positions that don't really make a lot of sense. He's going Colossus, but there's no upgrades in play. It just feels, I mean, it maybe feels as though he's almost freestyling the opening to the point that finding transition is difficult. He gets 13 SCV kills. Maybe I should stop doubting so much, but SCV kills are pretty and all, but what isn't pretty is the army supply difference. And whenever Clem comes across the map, AK in about 20 seconds when these upgrades are done, it's probably just going to be game. You might not go with everything. You might be a bit afraid of seeing MaxPax be aggressive when you look at Clem's information. He knows there's a third, but he doesn't necessarily know there's probes on that third base, right? So you don't necessarily know it's actually being probed out. You might think there's another round of army about to jump on you if you move out, which is obviously then very scary, something you don't really want to commit to. DT warps top left. Marines going forward. One side swipe down, the second one getting swiped down. I mean, it just feels like too much. Disruptor's on the way. Okay, I mean, it's just like a... It really feels like MaxPax is just kind of got a bit of a mismatched job going on, right? He's just trying to make a bit of anything happen. He was going blink, cancels, goes charge. Just indecisive all series long, I think. I wonder if he gets nervous. Right? 2-0, I know like he's played like big matches and stuff, but like 2-0 up in the finals, I wonder if he got a bit nervous and just sort of... I know, like, Game 3, I wouldn't really say anything, but, like, I do feel like the decisions this game have been... I know, again, it comes off a weird build, but I've seen MaxPax play much more regular stuff lately. Anyways, it's all just questions in my mind as we wait for the fight, really. I don't know if Clem's going to max out before he goes. He's building a 4th base. MaxPax might be the one to trigger it as he's moving across the map. Probes just shut down by the Liberator. Not Liberator, is that a... Was it the same Liberator? No, it's the second one. I was gonna say, that would be ridiculous. +1 armor will be done soon, +2 attack is starting, and... the medevac just on the way out. Our bio army splitting up from Clem, going a few different directions. Clem just kind of is move commanding there. I was going to say, from I was waiting to stop being like, here we go, here's the fight, but then Clem kept move commanding. I'm like, Clem? I mean, he kind of runs in. It's not a pretty fight for Clem, but yeah, DT is at the same time force a lift on this base over here. Okay, I mean, MaxPax is having a good moment or two. Disruptor shot connect. Clem is making this more difficult for himself than it needed to ever be. He just blinks on a Cyclone. That is not a good use of DT blink. I just don't think killing a Cyclone is really worth it. It's like 12.5 minutes in the game. What's the Cyclone gonna do? I don't think that was worth it at all. I told Clem where the DTs were. You can't blink away when the units then find them. Everything coming back around is going to be seeing MaxPax is... Well, just going to cam and catch those units. It's the right play. You know, he's doing the right sort of things. I mean, Clem really just doped in that fight, right? If he was on attack move instead of a move command, I think that goes very differently, very quickly. And his tanks get sieged up, just going to push the Zealots and everything else back over the right side. Couple Vikings pushing out the damage onto the Colossus. Disruptor shot. Oh, goes through but misses. That's going to see the Vikings still firing up a storm, and the tank's coming in behind this. Now the flank shows up for Clem, and well, if it looked as though MaxPax was maybe just making something happen, well, that was until the flank came in and the other half of Clem's army arrived. He does kill this command center on the top. Like, he's making it closer than it should be, right? He's making it kind of closer than it should be, but I also feel like this is just, as soon as Clem could have gone across the map at any point and probably won this, but now that he is actually going to go across the map, that is still true. He's a whole set of upgrades in the lead. As long as he has a scan for DTs and he doesn't let this disruptor shot kill everything. I mean, honestly, even still. That tank siege up, the Zealots and DTs come charging through. Tanks are actually going to get cleaned out. This is not the best army of Clem against what he was playing against, right? Tanks not great against Zealots or DTs, honestly, and on top of that, I actually think Clem would be not too bad to have Ghosts in the army composition, but again, it's a question of what do you really need in this scenario. The answer is just another attack or two, and you're going to get the job done, so Clem's going to make it happen in the end. DTs over here, but I think that's too much bio to make a play onto. You're also losing the right-hand side. Bio over here as well. That drop coming back in. He's going to drop in the main, and maybe you can DT blink onto this army on the right side as MaxPax came so close to an ESL Open Cup, but his chances are dying off as we speak. It's another robot. That's a disruptor denied, and now he's going to drop on top of the disruptors. I think he is. There's a couple of DTs here. Oh my god, well, there was DTs here. They just got blown up. Clem's like, you want to see a disappearing trick? I can make DTs die without scans, without detection. MaxPax like, how? He's like, bang, your disruptor shot. Amazing. Probes keep on dropping. Clem is going to take this game. I just want to rewind on this poor disruptor that died to the disruptor. This DT that died to the disruptor, man. We just get an F in the chat for the double DT that has no way of dying unless the disruptor blows them up. No, they had all this disruptor had to do. There's fireworks as well, man. Look at this. It's like, hurrah, Jose! It's like celebrating Clem's victory. That like fireworks. He's like flying out of there. Fireworks blasting off in the background. He's like, successful mission, boys. We got the disruptor to kill the DTs. Mission success. See you later. Clem 3, MaxPax 2 in the ESL finals.